I promise you're going to be blown away by what you can do when you change your attitude from this feels difficult to I'm going to make it happen. Hello, and welcome to another episode of This or More. I'm your host, Tiffany Napper, and today we're diving into the heart of entrepreneurship, the one thing that will ensure success during your entrepreneurial journey. Yep, the one thing. And no, it's not money, though that does not hurt. I'm talking about your won't take no for an answer, make it happen attitude. It is truly that mindset that allowed me to find success as an entrepreneur. Even though I knew nothing about running a business when I left my corporate job in the music industry behind. And I'm talking nothing. Okay. I have a journalism degree. I took the bare minimum in math classes and science. I barely had ever even used Excel. I didn't have a business plan. I didn't even know what that looked like. That sounded like torture to me. I just leapt and I knew that whatever curveballs the world threw at me, I could catch them or I could dodge them. I had a whatever it takes, I won't take no for an answer attitude. And in my opinion, no amount of formal business education alone will prepare you to be a successful entrepreneur. And I think the opposite is true as well. You could be the best painter or the best graphic designer or the best photographer in the world. But if you don't know how to sell and collect money, well, it's always going to be a hobby. So, as the walls of my co working space in Nashville, Tennessee say, ain't nobody gonna do it for you. You really have to have a I am going to make this happen attitude. And I believe that's the one thing that will ensure your success as you run your small, medium, large size business. Okay. And I remember when I first started my business in the early days, 2011, it was New Year's Eve. It was a few days before New Year's Eve. And my best friend and I at the time, I was like, we're going big or we're going home. We're either going to Paris or we're literally staying at home in our PJs. So what did we do? We decided we were going to Paris. Now, mind you, I was about to leave my corporate job behind and start my own business. I had also just purchased a house that I had just renovated in New Orleans, Louisiana. I had no business planning a last minute gallivant to Paris for New Year's Eve. It didn't make a lot of sense on paper. But I was young, I was ambitious, I had a desire. I knew that if I had that desire, that meant it was for me. And so I got really creative and I brought my I'll make it happen attitude to the table. And I decided to list my house on this very new platform at the time called Airbnb. And I thought if I can rent my house for this amount of money for this couple of days of New Year's Eve, I'll take that money, spend it on my Paris trip, and it's like I'm not out any more money than I would have been out to just pay my bills, right? And that's what I did. Booked the house, bought the plane ticket, rented the Airbnb, went to Paris, joked with my friend that I would be living off of croissants and champagne for those 48 hours because I didn't have a lot of money to do much else. And I pretty much did, aside from one really nice meal that we did have that had meat and veggies. Other than that, we ate a lot of croissants and drank some champagne, and it was beautiful, no regrets. But that I am going to make this happen no matter what attitude is something that clearly was kind of already innate in me. And I truly believe will help you be successful as you run your business. I don't think there's any way around it. You're going to have to get a little uncomfy every now and again. You're going to have to do things that feel a little crazy every now and again. You're going to have to trust your instincts a lot if you want long term success. Fast forward a few years, I had launched a clear stadium approved handbag line, and the NFL had came knocking on my door, and I was like, "Ooh, this is an opportunity, and I want to secure this relationship. I want to be the only person they talk to about stadium approved handbags." So what did I do? I bought a plane ticket to New York City. Again, didn't make a lot of logical sense at the time. I wasn't rolling in the dough back then. I was running three startup businesses at one time. We'll talk about that on another episode. But I knew this was a moment that nobody else was going to do for me. I had to make it happen, and that meant booking a flight to New York City. I remember the gals in the office, in the NFL office who I'd been collaborating with, talking to, I remember asking them, like, hey, what kind of coffee do you like? And I stopped by a little coffee shop on the way there, ordered their favorite lattes, sashayed through the NFL building. Well, you can't really sashay through it. You got to go through all kinds of security. Went through the security with my lattes in hand, ready to make these women my new best friends. And it worked. But there was no in my mind back then. There was no, oh, you can't do that. That's crazy, Tiffany. There was only, I'm going to make this happen. And that is what paved the way for a very beautiful 5 year long relationship with the NFL, the entire duration of me running that handbag line. They purchased bags from me. I'm getting the chills just thinking about it because it really, I'm not sure I fully understood the impact of it back then. They ended up buying bags from me for the owners' wives during the owners' convention. That parlayed into a couple of owners' wives calling me direct, ordering bags for all their friends. That parlayed into the NFL saying, hey, we want to carry your bags at our pop up shop during the Super Bowl. That parlayed into a lot of NFL wives, players' wives, calling me up, wanting personalized clear stadium handbags. Oh my gosh, that relationship was so fruitful and so fulfilling for me. And it's all because I said, I'm going to make this happen. So if you want to be successful, you're going to have to find a way to make it happen. If you want something, you find a way to make it happen. I truly, truly believe it is the key for you finding success. I truly believe it is the thing that allowed me to not build not just one, not just two, not just three, but five six-figure success stories. It wasn't because I made the best clear handbags, although I was first to market. That definitely played a part in the story. Again, we'll save that for another podcast. It wasn't because I was the best publicist on earth. My first business and my oldest and longest business was a PR agency. I don't even think that's remotely true that I was the best publicist on earth. There's a lot of better publicists than me, but I knew how to make it happen, right? I had a very can do attitude, and that opened a lot of doors for me. It's not because I'm the best business coach in the world. There are some incredible business coaches out there. However, I happen to believe this is my calling, and I'm pretty darn good at it. And I have a I will make it happen attitude. It makes me unbeatable. It will make you unbeatable. Tenaciously bold is the key. Stepping up to the plate, if you're not where you want to be right now, if things aren't lining up or falling into place the way you want them to right now, it's up to you to step up, take charge, carve your own path, make it happen. How many times can I say make it happen? For every no you encounter, I want you to think that there are three yeses just waiting for you and a maybe around the corner. And it is your resilience to keep knocking on doors, finding new doors, creating new doors, pushing forward that is going to set you apart from all of the other people in your periphery that might do the same thing as you. It's the secret sauce. There's no decision you can't recover from or learn from, by the way. If I had made that decision to go to New York City and meet with the NFL and it hadn't gone that way, I would have learned something from that and I would have been able to recover from that. I wasn't going to put myself in such a dangerous position that I couldn't recover. And I know, and I want you to know that every stumble is just a chance to rise stronger, to get wiser, to be more determined. Because remember, folks, ain't nobody going to do it for you. It's all about taking the reins and pushing forward with relentless determination. And one key takeaway that I really hope you take from this conversation is that for every no you hear, there really are three more yeses and a maybe waiting around the corner. I don't want you to let roadblocks or rejections deter you. I want you to let them fuel you to bigger successes. Every roadblock, it's just a redirection. Every setback, it's just a setup for your comeback. Dance with the next no you hear, give it a dip, flip it upside down, tell me what happens. I promise you're going to be blown away by what you can do when you change your attitude from this feels difficult to I'm going to make it happen. In the grand adventure of entrepreneurship, having that make it happen mindset is the compass that will get you to your North Star. It's the beacon that lights your path when things get dark and when things get tough. And newsflash, they will get dark and they will get tough. It's part of the journey. It doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It's part of the journey. So I want you to go out there. I want you to break those molds. I want you to turn those no's into yeses. I want you to look for those redirections. I want you to challenge the status quo for because God knows it's boring to just do what everybody else is doing. Let's have some fun out there. You're going to hear me talk about fun quite a lot. Let's have some fun out there as we build these businesses and as we pave our path towards more abundance and more joy. Okay. I hope this episode has inspired you to grab a hold of your dreams, make them your reality, to look at any setbacks or no's with a completely different lens, to remember that if you want something, it's already yours. You've just got to claim your power and make it so. Thank you for tuning in today. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll uncover more stories to fuel your entrepreneurial journey. That's what I'm here for. Until then, stay resilient, make it happen, and know that wherever you are, whatever you've accomplished to date, this or more is in your future.